Hey everybody, welcome to New Sanctuary. My name is Rat Rod and I'll be your tour guide today. Sanctuary was the first place I ever decided to build, and when I first did so I scrapped everything, and now I regret it because, oh look, of course, I'm recording a video, now I have to defend Vault 88. Why not, right? Sorry Vault guys, you'll have to defend yourselves for a little while. I'm also fighting off a cold, so if I start coughing uncontrollably, I apologize. So, let's just take a little tour of New Sanctuary, shall we? There's a little billboard with a rundown of what you can expect to find here in my little settlement. As you can tell, we have our ways of dealing with the less scrupulous people that you may find here, in the wastelands. You may notice a few of Paul's tricks here and there. He's been a good influence, I have to say. Very helpful, very resourceful. I've used a lot of his stuff. So without further ado, let's go have a tour, shall we? Decided to build this gate with switches. It lets my vendors come in and out as they please. Here's your welcoming committee. Just in case you're less than friendly and you're trying to raid the settlement, it's not going to work. No police station here. Unfortunately, I had to shut this guy off because even though I've told him to stay here, he keeps following me around and it gets annoying. So, little bedroom for the guards to sleep in. Not that robots need sleep, but you know what I mean. Prison cell, complete with a loudspeaker in case somebody breaks the beam, and a little deterrent to stop you from leaving prematurely, shall we say. Didn't do much else with the place otherwise. You may have seen the word Thunderdome as you're coming in. Well, not much to do in the wasteland, is there? No TV, hard life, so I had this little space and I figured, why not make good use of it? It ended up being a basketball court, so you've got your home and away team, you can keep track of the score, and every time somebody scores, well, okay, what is going on here? Brahmin, vendors, go figure. Maybe they wanted to play ball. Anyway, if you score, fireworks. Why not, right? Keeps the crowds entertained, I guess. So, pardon me. Over here we have the pharmacy. I had to put a railing up because NPCs kept wandering in here and knocking everything down, so we'll just hop over that. It used to be a little heavier decorated than you see it now, but I had a problem, as I'm sure a lot of you have, with objects falling through surfaces like tables and such. I think I've struck a happy medium now, but if I open a door and you see that things have fallen through a table, well, you'll have to forgive me. It's just a hazard of playing the game, right? So, this is where our caravans like to stop. Decided this was a good place, put a little porta potty in there for them. Created a grill. You may recognize that smoking barbecue tip from one of Paul's videos. I decided to combine it with a little outdoor cookery so that you'd see smoke coming out of the pot, from just to make it look a little different. I didn't want to completely plagiarize what School Zone had done. I just wanted to put my own spin on things. So you may see that in several spots throughout my settlement here. I did straight up borrow the Olympic ring idea, though, I have to say. It denotes a gym and fitness and all that jazz. And you may notice some tertiary colors as well. That was a great idea. I had fun with that. So this is a combination building. As you can see, you've got gym, you've got a greenhouse above, and then around the corner you'll see a weapons shop as well. So thanks to the greenhouse, we have some wares for sale. Placing those was fun, let me tell you. We'll check out the gym here real quick. Not much. You know, I'll catch Sturgis in here constantly. He loves the pommel horse for whatever reason. But he always forgets to close the door behind him. You know, figured I'd put a TV in there. Although having a TV next to a batting machine, probably not a good idea. But hey, why not? Oh, and another thing, he likes to use the weight rack as well. But I noticed that he won't mess around with this weight rack because it's actually a heavy weapon stand. Go figure. I thought it looked close enough. As you can see, Sanctuary has been re-roofed and it's been doored. It's also had windows put in, you know, some lamps and some homey touches. It's settlement ready, really. I could have settlers move in here and they would have everything they needed. The problem is, as you well know, settlers like to go places you don't necessarily want them to go. So all your hard work placing things, and you load the game up and you'll find a settler sleeping in your bed and all your stuff's been moved around. So yeah, it just wasn't fun. Oh yeah, so around the corner, gun store. Didn't want anyone coming in here, so I just put a switch door on it. Now you'll notice it's not just guns. Some of the armor that I've come across playing the game ended up in here. Right? I'm sure most of you know what this is, so I'm not going to name them all. Primarily there's legendary weapons in here, stuff that I wasn't using that I came across that just looked cool. I decided to open up an armor and weapons store. So everything you see in here is, you know, has a legendary connotation to it for the most part. Tried to make it look visually interesting. This used to be much more full, but just objects wouldn't stay placed. I'd come in and they'd be constantly falling through shelves, so I really had to pare it down to the bare essentials, unfortunately. And here we have our monument to the Great War. I thought it would be fitting to, you know, line it up visually with Vault 101, where our lone survivor originated from. You may notice your little chair stand technique blended in. I thought it was really neat. Tried to use some local fauna and stuff to, you know, like make it look like somebody had been laying wreaths and whatnot on the anniversary. Just because, you know, our lone survivor must get sentimental. Oh yeah, let's show you the greenhouse. Oh, right. Also, my wolf, Mishka, and then you have a junkyard dog, and dog meat. They like to hang out. Mishka will never use a doghouse, though, for some reason. And, you know, settlement can't be a settlement without your Brahmin, right? Feed trough, water trough. And he's a good source of fertilizer, so, you know, it's good for the greenhouse, and he's good for my weapons production facility, which you'll see in a little bit. Let's head upstairs real quick. You can have a look at the greenhouse. Nothing fancy. And the one thing that bugged me was these corner pieces. Why can't we have nice looking corner pieces? They're all broken except for the ones that aren't made of glass. This little pet peeve. And you get your water for your plots and all that stuff over there in the bathtubs. Just little mixing stands for the soil and whatnot. Tried to keep it realistic. You'll notice that throughout the build here, I tried to make it immersive, you know, as if, well, if I were actually trying to survive, what would I need? What would I do? What would I want? What would I want to be prosperous? So it started off as just a place to live and turned into a place where people from the Commonwealth could come and actually purchase things. So you have the water plant here, and we have a Marluck trap because, I'm selling seafood, so I guess Marlucks are seafood? We'll go down here real quick. You can see the fish drying stands, and I tried to use some of the props in a creative way. So, oh hey, yeah, guard tower. I wonder where I got that from, right, Paul? You'll see some drying stands in the water that were converted to actual fish traps because, you need to trap your fish somehow. I'll go back up here. This is the only way undefended in and out, but it's not really undefended because you've got the lights and the guns up there. So, oh, and way off in the distance you can see what used to be, I think it was a 7-story tower, but I had to cut it down because, again, things weren't loading. Here's our little seafood stand. Store, sort of like an old general store, and yeah, look, check it out. Well, oh well, what can you do? Stuff fell off the shelves. That was interesting. I had a hard time getting this to place. It didn't want to place on here. So I had to merge the 2 countertops, put some overhead storage just because I thought it was a creative use of the space. You may recognize this prop from Far Harbor, I believe it is. It's sort of a maritime feel to it. Anyway. Over here we have I guess you could call it the power shed, for lack of a better term. This is where it chose to hide all my generators. It's kind of overpowered at the moment, but I wasn't sure, how far I was going to push things here in New Sanctuary, so I made sure there's ample power for all my future building needs. And this is the one place where I actually use the wire glitch just to make life easier. I'm no master of it, so I guess that's one of the reasons why I decided to keep my build looking like, someone had wired it post-war. I appreciated the lessons that, School Zone gave as far as hiding all the wiring and the true wire glitch and the other wire glitch. I don't know, I was obtuse and it doesn't always work for me, and I found it frustrating, so I vanilla wired it. And you may notice there's power armor on all the roofs. I like power armor. I hardly ever play the game without wearing my suit of power armor, so I've collected a lot of it, and one of my primary reasons for building here in Sanctuary was to house my power armor collection. And that's what this building started off as originally, but as my power armor collection grew, this building grew, and it got to the point where I needed something better. So I actually converted this building from a power armor warehouse into my manufacturing warehouse. And in here, I can build pretty much anything I want. I could probably do a video just on this alone. It took a couple of weeks for me to sort out how to get everything going, but basically you'll see over here on the wall is the formula for building ammo, right? So no matter what ammo I want to build, I broke it down into hoppers and switches, so I can just select whatever hopper for whatever ammo I want to build and then fire it off and away I go. So let's say I want to build 5.56. All I need is fertilizer and lead, so I would turn on fertilizer and that would open the fertilizer hopper and then the lead hopper, and then I would turn on my conveyors, which also turns on my ammo manufacturing plant, and the next thing you know, it's going to be spitting out 5.56. There we go. Alright, pretty straightforward, and same goes true for pretty much everything else ammunition wise. Now when I want to build something else, well, that's where the upper level comes in. You may recognize these as the various plants. Oh yeah, look, see, I forgot to go into the computer and turn that off, so I'm actually creating weather shells as we speak. So let's just go ahead and turn the power off for this end of the plant. As you can see, everything's pretty labeled, so anyone could come in here and pretty much figure it out really quick what they needed to do. Basically, my raw materials are fed in whatever I go raiding. I'll drop them in here, and then I can just drop them in here. They get elevated up, and they go land on the conveyor belt here, right? And then they get sorted into these different sorters. Oil, lead, copper, so forth, so forth, so forth, right? And then they'll come around here. Now, anything that doesn't contain those components gets diverted into that hopper over there and then stored at the end. If I want to use my machines over there, I have another switch which controls this arm. The arm diverts them onto this conveyor belt, and then they go into these manufacturing machines. Pretty straightforward, right? It was the easiest way I could think of to lay the factory out and build the things I wanted to build when I wanted to build them. So, let's carry on with the tour here. Oh, it's also pretty well defended in and of itself, just because. More tertiary colors. Oh, and if anyone knows how to get Codsworth to stop opening doors, let me know. That'd be great. He just randomly walks into houses for no good reason. And just like IKEA does, IKEA back in the day had people coming in and then people would leave, and they couldn't figure out why people were leaving the store early, and it turned out they were hungry. So that's why IKEA now sells meatballs and all the other things. Well, it's the same thing here. I didn't want people leaving my emporium prematurely until they bought things, so I decided to put a little cafeteria in here. Pardon me. Had it manned by this little fella here, just because, a little idiomatic, in case you don't like what he's cooking. Although, who doesn't like lobster rolls, right? At any rate, the reason why my settlement is populated by robots is, well, I happen to do robotic services as well. Imagine that. And in here, you'll find a couple of bots on standby, ready to be sold. A couple of bots in for service. You can build bots, and oh, and look, more things have fallen through shelves. Did I say I thought I'd found the happy medium? Apparently not. Frick. Well, that's what happens when you shoot live, right? Maybe if I hadn't procrastinated, I would have had more time to replace things. But it's the last day before the contest needs to be entered, and voila, here I am. Another little greenhouse area. This is just for our sole survivor, though. This food doesn't get sold to the general public. The other greenhouse takes care of that. Oh, look, speak of the devil, there's Codsworth now, running around knocking stuff down, no doubt. And here we have the Power Armor Emporium. It's also where my sole survivor lives, basically. You'll notice a few souvenirs laying about, like these gnomes. I couldn't resist putting them here and there. Well, yeah, we have a surveillance system just in case you're a bad guy. And the door is switched because, yeah, I have to keep people out. So, go in here. Now this is the Power Armor showroom, I guess. If you wanted to come and buy parts for your power armor, they're all sorted. Little office desk with the stogie. Yeah, you know how it is. You can also buy ammo here, just because. Yeah. Go through here. Did I mention I like power armor? Yeah, I kind of like power armor. What can I say? Hey, that's odd. Why didn't that trigger? Well, at any rate, that's supposed to trigger the decontamination sprays, but for some reason they're not. Maybe was it because they both had to be on? One sends power to the other, is that it? Oh well, I guess I gotta work the kinks out of that system. At any rate, if you're looking for power armor, you've come to the right place. I think there's a little over 100 suits of armor in here. Some of them were made, some of them were stolen. I can't help it. I'll just sneak up on a bad guy and steal his power armor. A little recreation area for our sole survivor. He likes fishing, so, you know, he can come out on his deck when the Empowerium is closed and do a little fishing. Have some friends over for a barbecue. Oh, look, a couple more gnomes. Why not? You'll notice all the quote-unquote special power armors have their own little area. And, sorry, this is where the development takes place for your prototype. As you can see, you know, a couple of those were found through the story, and a couple I had to delete because they didn't suit the vanilla theme. So those bits of power armor have been put away for now while we do this tour. That way there I don't get kicked for having content that doesn't belong in here. Thought it'd be neat to, you know, have the touch-up paints out so it would look like, you know, our survivor was being a little nostalgic and painting things up to make them look right. And he's got a couple of different projects on the go as far as R&D goes, right? Surprisingly, these props seem to stay put the most. It's the other props. I guess these are the oldest, so they, I don't know, they like to stay in place more. Go figure. At any rate, upstairs, the living quarters are divided in two, and the frame rate drops here a little bit. Actually, at one point I had to redesign this because every time I came in here, my game would lock up. It was just too full. It wouldn't load. It was really unfortunate. So you'll notice some of the collectibles are on this floor and the rest are on the next floor. Little kitchen area, complete with some beverages. Some are made, some are found. Yeah, and things are falling down again. Wow. Sorry about all this. Like I said, I could have come through and taken my time and replaced everything, but hey, that's the joys of live video for you, right? Yeah, everything's falling off the shelves here. You know, you may notice this little trick from one of Paul's latest videos. I had some shelving underneath. As you can see, the stuff didn't stay. Go figure. And we'll head upstairs to the recreation area. I actually put this upstairs in because I love the view. You know, when I turn around, I can really check out my power armor collection. Just look down at it. This is as high basically as you can build here at Sanctuary, as far as I know. You'll see when I go up to the roof. That's where the limit of the build area is, and some more of the collectibles and some, you know, first rad stag I came across that was two-headed, and some of the more memorable things that, you know, I came across in my plays, like Shemdrown's skull and sword, and the first gnome, my first Deathclaw kill, some models and whatever. The bobblehead stand, of course. Yeah, if you want, you can play a little pool or listen to some music. Little helmet collection. I actually had another bobblehead stand with the helmets that I'd found in game, but they didn't want to stay in place. Kept this corner dark so that the effects from the lighted weapons would show up really nicely, and the neon on the jukebox. But yeah, here's some more of these, you know, unique items that you find while you're playing, like the Gilded Grasshopper from the quest line. right? Jangles bandana, little neat stuff like that. So yeah, this is where my soul survivor lays his head at night, comes to work on his power armor when it gets damaged from being out in the wasteland, develops new power armors, it works. Better turn the door off so Sturgis doesn't come in here again. Wreck my stuff. And yeah, I guess that's just about it for the settlement. You've seen everything there is to see. Well, at nighttime anyway. I like the way the neon and lighting works. But yeah, I guess I could turn it daylight just for the heck of it. Wonder where I got this trick from, right, Paul? Or not. That was a clear weather shell, wasn't it? Whoops. Yeah, well, like I said, I never claimed to be a professional at this. I'm just somebody who likes playing Fallout and building things, contraptions, and yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the little tour, and keep on playing. I'm excited to watch the video in regards to the new Fallout release, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this published, and catch up with y'all later. Enjoy.